Radios in all regions. The purpose is to use the TV and radios and other platforms to strengthen teaching and learning in all educational institutions. Already, some of the senior secondary schools have been provided with TV sets, and plans are on the whole to connect them to MOPSI TV, and those avail them the opportunity to benefit from lessons of experienced teachers in certain rare subjects. This would address the challenges of acute teacher shortage, especially in rural schools. We are also currently working on providing internet connectivity of all our schools, thanks to the support from MRC Holland. Our IT unit is also engaging various IT consultants to develop platforms for educational purpose. And very importantly, some of you may also have been privileged to know that about thousands of our schools are about to be solarized with the support from EU. From the above explanation, it is clear that the use of technology to deliver distant education is an integral part of our plan, and the ministry is about to put the right infrastructures in place for this program. Although the advent of COVID-19 has accelerated the implementation of educational broadcasting strategy, it clearly shifted our targets from schools to homes, which has brought us some limitations for the implementation of the initiative. For example, the issue of electricity, non-availability of TV and radio sets in deprived households are some of the glaring challenges confronting our current distant education program. Despite these difficulties, we are strongly convinced that the benefits of this current program far outweighs the demands. We are conscious of the fact that the current initiative is not a perfect strategy, but at least everyone would agree that some form of learning has taken place in the past 21 days. And the initiative has also helped to keep some children at home, thus curb the spread of the virus. We are very convinced also, if all stakeholders had played their part, we could have registered even a more achievement. We are aware that some children were playing in the streets while lessons were delivered, and some attributed that to the ineffectiveness of the program. However, rather than attributing loitering of children in the street to the inadequacy of this program, it is our collective role to sensitize and even support children to be indoors. Remember, not having a radio or television cannot be the reason to be in the street. In the worst case scenario, there is a book to read at home. COVID-19 is real and deadly. Prior to embarking on this initiative, we did analyze the available GBOS data, which guided our planning process. The MIG data suggests that 78% of Gambian households owns radios, with 98% of the household having telephones. The involvement of all community radios also guaranteed countrywide coverage. Having said all this, it should be emphasized that there can never be quality education without meaningful participation of the parents. Therefore, the success or ineffectiveness of this initiative depends considerably on the support from parents, families, and the general public at large. We can deliver lessons through radios, but we cannot prepare children to receive these lessons. Just like how we expect parents to prepare children to attend school, parents are expected to give the same support to children to receive these lessons through radios and televisions at home. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the subject coverage focused mainly on core curriculum areas, all the various education levels, also including both conventional and madrasa education. Such areas include early grade reading ability and early grade mathematics ability for LBS, biology, physics, chemistry, mathematics, English language for UBS and senior secondary schools. In the past 21 days, a total of 100 lessons were developed, recorded, filmed, and available for broadcasting. More lessons will be recorded in the coming days. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have received concern from general public about the exclusion of madrasa from the ongoing program. We want to state that our inclusive education policy and our drive towards achieving a synchronized curriculum calls for all inclusiveness. The biggest discrimination faced by madrasa graduates in this country is the fact that most of them graduate from universities but could not serve in position of responsibility in civil service because of low proficiency in English language. The ministry has a responsibility to change this situation. That is why, through Amana, the ministry provides support to all recognized madrasas by not only providing English teachers, but also maths and science teachers as well. The current English, maths, and science lesson being delivered is also meant for the madrasa. However, this is not to suggest that we are not considering the inclusion of other subjects. Just like madrasa, we also receive suggestions for inclusion of other subjects, and all these requests are forwarded to the technical team for consideration. But we have to be realistic that every subject cannot be included in this program. And like we said, there will be opportunity for the lost contact hours to be recovered. To complement the delivery lesson through radio and television, schools have tasked their teachers to deliver lessons through WhatsApp and other media platforms. And this is already happening in many schools. For example, in one of the remotest regions, Region 6, almost all the head teachers are delivering lessons to their students through WhatsApp. Some teachers even go to the extent of translating the lesson in local languages for parents to participate in the process. This is also true for most senior secondary schools. I have the first-hand evidence of this because I'm on some of these platforms. We want to put on record that we are not replacing curriculum. And therefore, after this pandemic, the ministry will design means of recovering the lost instructional hours. This will include extension of school days, weeks, paying attention to double shifting where it is applicable, intensive and extensive class for exam classes to recover lost time with the option of rescheduling of exams, the scheduling of curriculum delivery plans, and strengthening the monitoring of implementation of the strategy through cluster monitors. The UNICEF U-Report monitoring tool is also being used to collect feedbacks from public, parents, teachers, students on the broadcast lessons. A technical team has been established to receive the feedbacks from the various platforms. These feedbacks help the ministry to keep adjusting the program to improve the quality of delivery. Expenditure. Contrary to the wide-held rumor that $35 million have been given to the ministry, I want to state that to date, no single budget has been received by this ministry towards the fight of COVID-19. The total amount spent on these activities is in two components. One is the payment to media houses, which is as follows. $900,000 is paid, or is to be paid to GRTS. The same amount is to be paid to QTV. $200,000 is to be paid to Star TV. $65,217.39 is to be paid to each radio station. The total of 27 radio stations are engaged to carry out this activity. The total amount therefore spent is $3.7 million. Specifically, 3.70760.869.53 bucks. If there is any other payment to this scheme, it has to be the allowances paid to the team of the program content developers, which is about $859,000. However, it is important to emphasize that with or without COVID-19, the ministry has already committed to content development for TV and radio delivery. The source of funding. This activity is funded under Component 2, which is the support to quality education of the current World Bank project, which is managed by the ministry. You may wish to know that certain activities were meant to be carried under the project during the COVID period, but could not naturally happen due to the banning of public gatherings and closure of schools. We therefore had to engage the bank to shift funds from such activities to this initiative. We sought the clearance and got the approval. What happened after the 21 days? The initial 21 days has elapsed, but the state of public emergency has been extended. Schools closure also extended until further notice. Consequently, the Honorable Minister has committed the ministry to the extension of distance education for the period of closure. So this initiative will continue. In this challenging time, ladies and gentlemen, we receive encouragement, suggestions, and even positive criticism from many worthy Gambians, and we wish to take this opportunity to express our sincere appreciation to all. But we must single out following people and institutions for special appreciations. MRC Holland, UNICEF, the chair of the leg, Madam Nasise Marena, a philanthropist, Alhaji Manka, a philanthropist, Lamin Sedi, IT consultant. These people do not only put forward their material, equipment, and IT tools for the support, but also provide technical support to our technical team throughout this period in the content development. Yesterday, I also received a call from the IT Association of the Gambia, expressing their intention to offer pro bono services to the ministry as a contribution to the fight against COVID-19. We wish to register our appreciation for such noble gesture. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this is a crusade in this journey. This is a crusade, and in this journey, all hands must be on deck. Education is everyone's business. We therefore call on all communities, politicians, media to join us to continue to improve our education system. We thank you all, appreciate you for honoring our invitation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Piers. I think it's a very, very detailed report. And I'm equally convinced that many issues have been cleared. But all that notwithstanding, we'll still allow people to ask questions. But then we want you to raise your hand, tell us where you're coming from, which media house you're representing, and then pose your question. He is together with his technical team. He will ask a question and he refers the question to somebody else because he needs some support under the circumstances. There are certain things he needs to be provided with feedback because he cannot be everywhere. He's one person. So if you ask a question and he asks Mr. Saudi, PMPCU, to answer, because Mr. Saudi is in charge of the project, he reports to him every day. But there are times things may happen before he reports. It can take time. That is why I'm saying if the questions are referred to other members of staff of the ministry, it's just because maybe that person is the right person to answer the question. So please, we may start. Yes, the gentleman at the back.
Yes, I'm Alamo Padera, a reporter from Membeke TV and Home TV. Well, I want to ask the Honorable PS 3 questions. The first question is, through our findings, we realized that there are villages in the country here whereby there are people in that village, students who are without television, neither radio. So I don't know how you are dealing with situations like that. And then, as they most of them complains, they are Gambians and they also need to be part of the case. So the other question is about the madrasas. We received a lot of complaints, and then through our findings, most of the ustazis will tell us that for them, their schools, their core subjects are Quranic, I don't know, something like that, things separate from English, math, and science. So I don't know how authentic is this, and then is ministry planning to look into that to try to make sure that we bring in their core subjects for them. And then the final one is your early grade reading, something like that. We normally do here phonetics, something like that. But at the time, phonics was in the system, we know. But at a point, it was being replaced by the local language. So is this confusion or what to us? Because when phonics was there, and then at a point, phonics was being replaced by national language, and then we are now seeing phonics instead of national language. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think we may take 2 or 3 people before we allow the guests to come back. Huh? Yes, please.
Because I'm concerned with the clarification that was given about 35 million. That is boom. You call it a boom, and I'm taking it as a boom. Are you telling us that you have not received this amount from the government? And what, if not, what have you received from the government to fight against COVID-19? Because this is to represent the government of the country. So are you telling us that you received anything from the government? Yes.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, then PS, you may want to answer. Maybe some other people will develop other questions before you are done.
Thank you very much. Before I go into answering questions, I have omitted name of a gentleman who has also been very supportive through this process. One, Mr. Ivo Lawrence Mendy. He's offered to build an app, educational app for us, for free of charge. And I think he's one person we need to also appreciate. Regarding the question about children without radio and television, like I said in my statement, this strategy is not a perfect strategy. We know everybody will not be covered. But we have to look at it from this angle, that it's a choice of doing something or doing nothing. So the ministry was confronted with that choice. And for us, we felt at least have a love is better than none. Much as our desire is to reach out to everybody, unfortunately we could not. But even in a normal situation, there are still children in certain communities that are not in school, and the ministry is working towards getting them in school. So more so with this kind of a crisis situation. But what we could also ask everybody to do is to also complement what the ministry is doing. Nothing stops a particular company to buy a cheap mobile phone, which costs less than $400, and provide to some of those deprived households, so that children could not only use them for texting, but they could also use it because they have radio facilities to follow their program. But apart from that also, we did, like I said, checked the GBOS data, which suggested that almost 98% of the household have telephone. So if you don't have a radio, I mean, if you are a parent, you don't have a radio, but at least for 1 hour, sparing your telephone. I mean, if quality education means something to you, as you are always, as everybody's clamoring for it, taking 1 hour, giving that telephone to your child to listen to this program, I think it should worth it. But then, the important thing here is to say that education is everybody's business. The ministry will do its part, but every other person should also come on board. And I'm sure if we do that together, we can achieve a lot. And I said it already, that we've achieved some, but the achievement could have been higher if all hands are put on them. You see, the issue of madrasa, you know, as a ministry, our responsibility is to provide education to every Gambian so that they can be able to meaningfully contribute to the socio-economic development of this country. And we all know the medium of language in the country is English. So providing English language lessons to every institution suggests that they are not excluded. And we are also not saying that there will not be opportunity for subjects that are excluded during this period to be recovered, because an opportunity will be created for all these subjects to be recovered. So this is not replacing any form of curriculum. This is just an emergency situation. You cannot take on board all the subjects, but you can make efforts to bring in subjects that are common to all. And this is what the ministry has started to do. All the subjects that we are doing are common to everyone, whether they are in madrasa or you are in the conventional schools. The pressure we are receiving from madrasa to include some of their subjects is the same pressure we are receiving from some of our streams, like the art stream, the commerce stream, saying that their subjects should be included. So, but naturally, all these subjects cannot be included in this program. But we are saying, we are not throwing out any suggestions, but we have a team that is looking at all these suggestions and trying to see what is possible. I know my experts are here to talk about the phonics, but I can emphatically say that phonics has not replaced, or national language has not replaced phonics. I think it's a misunderstanding, but I will allow my technicians to emphasize on that. The $35 million, I think they want me to repeat it again, and I think my statement is very clear. We've not received any money from government for now. I will not say we may not receive, but for now we have not received anything from government. And the $35 million is false. It's not true, we've not received it. The money we used to spend on this activity is from our project that is meant for certain activities that could not have happened under the circumstances. So we shifted those funds to this activity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Madam Emily, you want to talk about this phonics issue and local languages because you were part of it?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning, people. I am Emily Gomez. I was the lead trainer for Jolly Phonics and National Language. Actually, the Jolly Phonics national language never replaces Jolly Phonics. We all know that English is not our language. And during the process of delivering these lessons, we realized that there was a gap. The gap was the children were not understanding. We'll get to a point where the children cannot comprehend what was being said because English is never their first language. And we realized, we saw the need to bring in the national language to support the English. In other words, the national language, we all know when a child is born, the child is born into a family. And that family does not use sign language. The family uses language to speak, to communicate within and around. It is from there that this child is going to pick his or her first words. And if you are not speaking English to your child, the first words of that child will never be English. And therefore, this was the reason why we realized the gap. In education, as you go on, you will also realize the gap, and you will also try to work around the gaps to see how best you can do that. And then we got stuck because there are certain things we were talking. We must first of all realize that Jolly Phonics was developed by Christopher Jolly, and Christopher Jolly is a British. Therefore, if we are going to adapt his program, we actually needed to do some changes here and there so that it can be suitable for our consumption. That was not done. We took everything. And then as we progressed into the Jolly Phonics, we realized that there was this gap, and the gap needs to be filled, and the filling must be the national language. And therefore, we now use the national language to build on the English. Because the children, when they come to school, they do not come empty. We realize that they come with some vocabulary. Because when they come, they understand their language very well. Why won't you use that language now to build in the new language that you are trying to teach the child? This is the concept. So there was no replacement.
Thank you very much, Madam.
Can I, before the mics move, with your permission, sir, can I also say that I am in charge of the communication unit now, and I am part of the technical team. Talking about the madrasa and their course subjects. Now we must all understand the process. Before the lesson appears on your screen, it goes through a process, and you know it more than I do because you are in the media. Number one, we need to look at the syllabus. And then from the syllabus, you need to tease out certain lessons from the syllabus. Arrange your lessons, your topics, they must be sequenced. After that, you need now to develop your teaching and learning aids. And after developing the teaching and learning aids, you now need to train the teacher to look at that and be able to use those materials to present a lesson. So if we need to walk through all that with the madrasas and all the others that are. Right now, the lessons you are seeing, those materials were already developed because the PS told you that this is part of our new education policy 2016-2030. So the lessons you are seeing were already developed, and that is why we just picked what we have and use it. Then as we go along now, we will now be developing, subjecting everything to go through the process so that you can have the quality that we all want. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Emily. I think it's very clear now. The 35 million we don't have a Fatou. Not yet. Maybe after this conference they will give us. But as we speak, nothing, please. Huh? And we want you people also to help us, the journalists. That 35 million is never said on your radios and your TVs, but it's always on the social media. Help us to tell them, Mopsy, we have contacted them over and over again. They said they have not received a penny. So that people will, because I listened to a radio some time ago, the guy was saying, rather than giving us breakfast, they could have used the 35 million to provide us breakfast so that the children can eat and then watch. I said, okay, that would have been lovely, but unfortunately, we haven't received anything. So pray for us, maybe we will get more than 35.
Yeah.
We need more than 35, not 35 million alone. Huh? So thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Yes, good morning, everybody. I am Khalid Kamara from Taxi Cafe.
Okay, so, sorry, can you introduce yourself and start?
Yes. Sorry. I'm Khalid Kamara from Taxi Cafe. Well, first of all, I want to commend the ministry for what you have been doing. I am impressed because I'm a teacher too, I'm also in the media. I'm impressed with what you have done. Where the PS started is that they had a choice of not to do it, but they decided to do it. Like you said, if you are going to do it, who will ask the questions? You decided to do it, and for that reason, I commend your ministry for that. You have been trying, though, and that's why I give you the kudos. That's why I give you the kudos. I just want us to look at this area. You already touched there, for especially the commerce. Because I've seen physics, I've seen chemistry, the sciences, and we know why. Because the sciences these are problems for us in this part of Africa. But I was expecting either financial accounting or economics, one of these subjects, either financial accounting, economics, to come in. We drop one of physics or chemistry, one of them to drop. We use because physics and chemistry goes for the sciences. I don't think there is an art student or a commercial student doing this subject. So if you take physics and chemistry, we know, yes, these are difficult areas.
But I was thinking for us to take either chemistry or physics, one of them, they will think of economics or financial accounting. Well, financial accounting and cost accounting, I don't know which is which, but financial accounting or economics, these two I was expecting. And secondly, the lower grades they are talking about. Let me just touch there. My main problem with the lower grade, with the English, we have been seeing phonics. And phonics we have been looking at for the lower grades, I think is the 6334 system. 6 years in primary school, 3 years upper basic, and 3 years in secondary school. With the phonics, it covers ECD. I believe it's nursery to grade 3. But I've not seen English, which is my major. I've not seen English for grade 4, 5, 6. I've not seen that yet. I've not seen it. We've not seen the children being taught on how to attempt comprehension questions. I've not seen that, because for me, when it comes to my radio, actually I've been given a responsibility. I make sure I listen to the audios, stories that we hear, and I have a text that I made to alert even WhatsApp groups that this time to this time, this is what is coming. With the way we are doing it, that's how we're doing it. But I've not seen that yet. So that is my take on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chief, for that question. We'll provide the answers, inshallah. So any other question? Yes, Ma?
Ma, sorry, can you come this way? Can you, please, yes, please. Yes, enable the camera.
Hello, I am Banna Sabadi, Mrs. Radio. But you're clear in a rumor about 35 million. So I want to know, do you people make a finding of the source of the rumor? Where did the rumor come about? And what are the findings? If you did not, why? That's what I want.
Okay. Thank you very much. No problem. Any other question? Yeah, hold on a second. You already have a chance. Do you have any other person? Okay, then we can give you a second chance.
Please.
These are lessons that people learn. The times are given. But what if someone missed that time? Is there anything where the person can access this online or somewhere else? Because many people don't have time to constantly follow the
Okay, thank you very much, Yankuba. I think we have 3 questions. Before allowing Chris to talk about the 35, let me respond to the gentleman on the issue of science and I totally disagree if you say that we are not teaching for the arts and commerce students. They're all doing general science. There is not a single school, upper basic or senior secondary school in this country which is not offering general science. And when we divided biology, chemistry, physics, that was the objective. So that they will cover all what is supposed to happen in general science. If you know general science, you know that these are the 3 components: physics, chemistry, biology. The science student is doing more of the chemistry, more of the physics, more of the biology as a science student. General science student is running across. So the science classes are benefiting both the arts and the commerce students because general science is a cost subject for them. The physics the same, the biology the same. I agree, the science students may benefit more because they are more of it. But there is nobody who is not gaining something out of it. And the lessons, like I said, are not replacing the classes in their schools. We expect that at the end of COVID-19, when people go back to school, they start from where they stop. And that is why he talked about the strategies that we are thinking after COVID-19. Extent of the school day, the school week, wearing or not forgetting that we are double shifting, you know, and do we engage or extend the exams period and the like. So these are the strategies after the, but we are aware that every child and every lesson that is presented, somebody is revising or somebody is learning new. And that is what we are able to do under the circumstances. He talked about it. It's a concern, we agree, is noted, but let us also help us to spread the gospel for people to understand that we are catering them along the line. The depth may vary, and we honestly agree and accept that. And we apologize for those students that we are not giving them as much they want. Please, huh? Thank you very much. Now, the issue of the phonics will come, but let me allow PS to talk. And then Madam Gomez will talk about the English for grade 4, 5, and 6, as you alluded. So you may go ahead.
Thank you very much. Despite the clarification, we still appreciate your contribution. Regarding the source of rumor, whether the ministry made attempt to find out, we did not, because we are not interested. For us, if you want to follow the rumors, it may distract you. So we felt we should just focus, and we knew we'll have an opportunity to clarify. So we were waiting for today to clarify. So we didn't definitely do any investigation to find out where the rumors came from. For the missed lessons, whether there is an opportunity for people to see them again, yes, we are working on that. The lessons are repeated during weekends, but also we are also trying to upload these things on platforms so that we can make them available to our schools. So the opportunities for people to see them again are there. I think those are the two questions.
Comprehension.
Sorry.
We talked about comprehension.
Yeah.
Can I just say,
okay,
he said, you asked a question about comprehension. Huh?
Can you come? Yeah, you can go. No, let
No, it's okay. My voice out. It has to be recorded.
Just, I don't know.
She's a teacher. She can talk.
But because everybody is hearing you. Is that okay? Thank you very much. You spoke about comprehension. You realize that comprehension is understanding what you are reading. And that has been a big, big problem within the education sector. And that was why the Jolly Phonics was introduced. That is what led to the introduction of all these interventions. What we are doing right now is actually the beginning of that will lead to comprehension. If you follow the lessons, you realize that they started with sounding. And from sounds, they now put the sounds together. And when they put the sounds together, they have words. And those words now, the children will have to read those words. They'll come at a point when they will use those words in sentences. And when they use those words in sentences, then when you ask them questions, they will be able to answer because they have started. You need to know the sounds, and then you also need to know, if I put these two sounds together, this is what I should hear, and this is how I should pronounce it. We all know that we have pronunciation gap in the adult listening. It's not our fault that we are not reading these words correctly. We want to do that correction. Comprehension cannot stand alone. It begins from where we have started. And as we progress into this, we will arrive at a point that you will now see the comprehension and the children will understand. That is very, very important. So the comprehension bit is there. And grade 4, 5, and 6, as I explained, is a process. And if we don't have the raw data, we don't just have to bring lessons because we want to bring them, but we want to bring lessons so that at least it will be beneficial to the children. For now, this is what we have, and this is what we can produce. As we move on, we will have the materials, and then we can go ahead. Then those of you who are asking, we have our social media platforms, and therefore, our main objective here, number one, let's not lose sight of that, is that we want the children to be at home. That is why we are holding on to posting these lessons into our social media platforms. The children must be at home to observe or watch these lessons. If they know that they are on the platform, they will not be at home. And then that is going to defeat the purpose, the first and foremost purpose of this radio broadcast or broadcast lessons. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you, gentlemen, for your questions, because as Pres alluded to in his speech, we want people to come with suggestions and criticisms, Let it not be Jaranka criticism, anyway. Let it be very constructive so that we can learn from it, But we really appreciate, your efforts, particularly in these last 15 days. There I want to register, on behalf of the sector, how appreciative we are to the media house. It's telling us that really Gambians can support when the need comes. And we have seen it coming from the media houses and individuals, through these difficult times to aid education to try and address a problem. and that is to keep the children safe and the teachers. Thank you. So we may.
Yes,
I totally agree with PS. You know, if you want to follow the distractors, you will be derailed. And we don't want to be derailed. We want to move ahead. And that's why we ignored them. We were waiting for the opportunity, and today is the opportunity. I hope from here, it will be clear that definitely MOPS is not giving a penny as we speak. Yes, Chief?
Yes, I have one final question. My final question is like, we all know in this country, online television stations and online platforms have more viewers than any other televisions in this country.
Yes.
And then online televisions in most cases have more advantages because when they screen their programs, any moment and any time if you want to have that program, you can just go back and get it, and then you have your reference, and then you replay. So I don't know why online televisions are not being part of this broadcast.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. For that one, I don't think I will answer that. First of all, remember people are talking about power and energy, connectivity. Before you go online, you must have power, you must have connectivity. So if you rely on that, then we would not be able to be sitting here today. We would have been killing us in the streets. Obviously, because we know, like you said, if we were to communicate with the outside world, it's better we use your medium online. But in this country, when people are telling you, I don't have a telephone, I don't have radio, I don't have electricity, I don't have internet. So definitely online has limitations. We appreciate what you people are doing, and we want to register our gratitude to Mr. Bojan because he definitely is doing well. But these were the limitations why we said even if you engage them, it's not going to be as effective as the radios. You understand? Because energy, connectivity is the problem. And we know that if people cannot be connected online, they cannot go online to watch a program or even to download a program. That was the reason. But we hope if things should work, as Pierre said, MOPSI, we want to go IT. That is our objective. We have been compelled by this crisis to move faster. So many things that we are thinking of, let's do it 2020, 2021, we are forced to do it now. And that is why we have to have some challenges. But we want you people to help us to use your expertise and address our challenges so that by the end of 2021 or early 2021, internet shouldn't be a problem for any school in this country. Power shouldn't be a problem for any school in this country. Even if you go to Jara, you can get a radio station. Please, huh? Thank you very much. Yeah, Star TV is online, and many are, Mimbe Kerr, they are also online.
They have an online.
MOPSI TV is also going online. Yeah. But the online has limitations as of now. For people in the diaspora, it's very good for them. But for Gambians within, if you go to certain parts of the country, it's still a challenge. And that's why we decided to use the community radios. And radios that have national coverage. Any other question? Okay, in the absence of any other question, then we want to thank you. And yes, you want to make a closing statement then?
No, that's not trust.
Okay, then.
Maybe just to thank them.
Thank them. I think we will be very much grateful, and we will continue to be grateful, particularly the radio stations and the TVs we were working on during these difficult times. They started the work without a penny. We didn't give them a butu. You know that. Some of you still your payment is pending. But you accepted to work because you took it as a national issue. And it is a national issue. The children that we are trying to help and save today are going to be the leaders of tomorrow. So if we should fail them today, Gambia is done forever. And that is why your stand during these difficult times was very much appreciated. And we want to register our profound gratitude to all of you. Please convey this, that MOPSI said they are grateful to the print and electronic media, to the televisions, and to every individual who contributed in one way or the other. The PS named some institutional people who volunteered to come with their gadgets and equipment and say, we will help you to do the recording. The first weekend was very tough for them. particularly for the radio and TV, because they have only 1 or 2 cameras to record for everybody and for all the lessons that needed to come within the first 3 days. But people volunteered from their homes, despite all the risk of people saying social distancing and stay home. They volunteered to leave their houses, leave their children, and go to where we were doing this work, and work with the technical team to make sure that we are able to get something that we can. We keep on saying it, we are not perfect. When we were coming up with the initiative, we know that we cannot cover 100%. There isn't, as the Olaf would say, halango dañu suuf. Halango dañu suuf. So obviously we know that there is some part that we will not be able to reach. But then we will learn from the mistakes. What are the problems? Is it the coverage? How can we make sure that coverage gets there? If we need to talk to QCell, or we need to talk to Star FM, or we need to talk to Main Bakery, we learn that people in this corner of the country, what can we do so that your radio gets there? These are the things that we needed to be working on. And that is why we said we are grateful to all of you. We thank you very much once again on behalf of the Permanent Secretary and the entire sector, starting from the head teacher to the last child or the caretaker in the school, in the office, from the office of the PS to the last cleaner, to everybody. We are all important. But this is a problem that we need everybody to be on deck, all hands on deck, because it's everybody's business. Education, it's not Mopsy's business alone then. The PS said it, we have 2 choices, either to do or not to do. But we opted to do. In the process of doing, we know we couldn't get it perfect. But we learned from the mistakes, we learned from you guys, we learned from even the social media. You're getting very good constructive criticism that we will take. And like I said, those who are out to distract, you don't need to bother yourself. Because you cannot get that. Even God who created us, some refuse to accept that there is God. Some people don't believe there is God. But this corona, we all know there is something controlling. See, it's a small microscopic thing that we cannot see with the naked eye, but we are all worried. So that alone should tell us there is somebody in charge. There is somebody in charge. And what worries people most, it started with the powerful nations. You know, if it started with Africa, you say, it's Africa, they don't know. But it started with the powerful nations. That we were hoping that if the going get tough, we fall back on them. And they are the people who are crying. So who are we not to start crying? So ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I want to thank you once again. And if you can provide us your email addresses, we will want to email you the statement made by the PS, you know, so that you will all have it as we would want it, please. Huh?
Or we just leave it at
Or do we have to give it to the communication unit and they share with them? No, we work on it. Huh? Thank you very much. Huh?
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3 or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
When we touch down, better broke down.
With Gamtel G-Fiber, now you can enjoy super fast internet in gigabytes. G-Fiber is affordable, stable, secured, and accessible to homes, businesses, and enterprises. With Gamtel G-Fiber, the future is speed. Gamtel, creating a brighter future in communication.
So she became mine and see